Hey, welcome to the Grabbing the Brisket podcast. This is James, you're one of the co-hosts, voice of gold, and a face that only a mother can love.
And a voice for radio?
Yeah. Face for radio.
Face for radio.
Yeah.
Face for radio. Cheers, guys. It's been a fun week. We've pretty much road tripped it all over Texas and Kansas and Oklahoma and a little bit of Missouri.
30 hours of driving?
Yeah.
30 hours. It was fun. It was a blast. I'm not going to lie. I know the actual ride itself kind of sucked ass. It was a shitty ass like Ford Sprinter van.
Are you kidding? No, that was great. Like that there was 3 rows of seating. People could lay down. We're all crapped in the back of a pickup.
That was perfect. I'm talking about the shock, the suspension. It literally like
that's what he's referring to.
You couldn't sleep if you would try to. You're like goom, 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 goom. Just
And there was a lot of seats, but
Except
they
for
were
John.
hard as hell.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think John slept
John
for
could
like
sleep.
20 of the
I could
30
sleep
hours.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, other than that, I don't think we really stopped anywhere memorable on that whole trip.
We stopped at Buc-ee's twice.
Let me ask you a question about
Busey's?
that. Busey's, yeah. So all that traveling, were you sore the next day?
I'm still sore.
Were you?
Yeah.
Just being kind of cooped up, right? It just felt very like, man,
Yeah.
like I've been stiff ever since. You know what I
I'm
mean?
glad I had that Monday off to like have a day of recovery.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
yeah. What's that? So let's get into, before we get into it, just like a brief little introduction. Hey, this is the Grabbing the Brisket podcast. We're definitely going to cover a shit ton of barbecue, and we're going to talk a lot of beer, and we're going to talk a lot of really nonsense type stuff, just like this.
Nonsense type stuff
Yeah.
is what we're doing.
I think that's the technical term or the scientific term. You can correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm wrong a lot of the times, according to Jan.
That's accurate.
All right.
So Tom Brady and Giselle, I guess they're breaking up. They're like lawyers. They're getting involved or whatever. You guys concerned or don't give a shit, or you like?
We all saw the writing on the wall.
We did?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, he's obviously sucking this year. Giselle fucking wants to be with a winner.
Yeah, she ain't going to be with no loser.
And I don't blame her. I mean, she has carried that family from day one when it comes to money. And, you know, hey, it happens to the best. You get old, you get replaced. So lesson to you right there. Don't get old.
Jeez. Wow.
Right?
There
Okay.
it is.
That's an awful
Word
thing
of
to
wisdom
say.
from Jan.
Hey.
I love this.
Hey, go back to, TB12 will work out for him, and
Right.
he'll do pretty good, I'm sure there's a line out the damn door
The
of other Giselles that are like ready
Right.
to go to Pound Town or whatever, right? So
Right. The Janisms here.
right,
Yeah.
I'm just
There
saying
it
it'll
is.
be okay. He'll be all right.
He'll survive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Hey, well, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Happens to the best of us.
Also, I saw over the weekend, and I think I was joking around with Matt just a little bit when we were up in the Kansas area, Missouri area. I think TikTok obviously tracks where you're going, and then they sit there and try to throw you videos that you might like according to the area that you're at. Mm-hmm. And I got a shit ton of fishing videos,
Much of Midwestern videos.
Midwestern style videos, and more specifically fishing, and this cheating scandal that came out where this dude got caught cheating. He was stuffing lead weights in the fish as he's like weighing it down. I'm like, I didn't even think about that ever happening, but what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, he was going to win like $15,000 or $20,000, and apparently he was already like him and the other guy were already
It was like third in the
leaders.
They were
state.
winning all over the
Yeah,
place.
they're like the leaders, and those dudes were pissed.
Yeah.
You watch that video.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, first of all, fighting words, right? People are
Right.
like fighting over this.
It's a criminal
Right.
offense. I think
Oh,
this
for
guy's
sure.
going to
This guy
jail.
may go to jail.
Yeah. You can't cheat in a competition. That's like sauce on a brisket, right? That's just, you can't do that.
Right.
Right?
Thank
you.
John.
I was going to
said it.
ask you.
Somebody
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, people are getting, and I'm not trying to get all like up in everybody's business, but a lot of rules in these competitions state that you can't sauce that thing in the box. You can't sauce
once
that.
it's in the box, right?
Once it's in the box, you can't sauce it. And I see a lot of videos of everybody just painting away, just throwing that sauce all over everything. And I'm like, that's just a little white line, right?
I think that's a dumb rule anyway.
Just
I want to see James as a judge just going around like, disqualified.
Right.
Right. Well, used to before in competitions, you couldn't put sauce. Like if you barbecue sauce stuff, now you could you could have a glaze, and that's where everybody's kind of skirting around the whole subject there. You could have a glaze, but you could not sauce your meat. Now everybody just puts like.
Well, it's the same thing. You can glaze. You can sauce it.
Right.
You just can't. Like when you go to cut it, you can't go back and add more sauces. You can't add fresh sauce.
Right.
It's got to be cooked.
I'd be a terrible judge because I would like.
right?
That's a 0. That's good. That's sauce all over it.
Right.
0.
No,
on brisket.
they'll let
Chicken
you
and
sauce it,
ribs.
right?
I love the sauce.
You just can't sauce it in the box. You could sauce it after you cut it. You just can't sauce it in the
Yeah,
box.
I think it's just. I think definitely things have the rules have been changing and whatever else. But I think what you're going off is the back in the day that you just couldn't do that. You know, that was like, first of all, nobody did it anyways. Like you would get laughed out of here. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like you
You put sauce on your brisket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's face it, saucing has been around for probably the last 15 plus years. People that are really competitive, they've been saucing. It's just the purists, people that don't really want to do that. And I'm always a firm believer going against the grain a little bit. And I think we've done really well because everybody is saucing. And all of a sudden you get this piece of protein that comes in and it stands on its own without anything. It is always done well for us. I mean, like a second place out of 160 plus teams. You know, there was no sauce on there.
We've talked before. If we were going to do our own competition, it would be no sauce.
Oh,
It'd just be
all offsets.
offset, no sauce.
Yeah, fight
Yeah.
all the elements. Fight it. It doesn't matter. Couldn't get your pit lit this morning. Oh well.
Yeah,
your
if-
brisket tastes like ladder fluid because
If
you.
we
you
did a
crammed-
competition, it'd be like in Lambeau. It's an outdoor stadium. There's no
Right.
covered. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey,
No
you're in
electrical
it.
plugs
No,
anywhere.
There's no electrical. Bring your own generator, and it's not going to your pit. It can go to anything else, but it's not going
Right.
to your pits.
Is it technically against the rules to even put the au jus after you've cut it? Right? I think it is, isn't it?
Nah, I
Once
think
you slice it
can
and you
do
have it in the box, I don't think you're supposed to.
It
be
depends
able
on
to
where
au
you go.
jus.
That
you
depends
can't
on.
pool. You can't no pooling in the box. You know, so you can add au jus. You can, soak it and whatever else and lay
Well-
it back in there. But you just can't have pooling juices, right?
That depends on what competition you're at. So the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, I heard that once and they're sitting there watching you cut the brisket. Once you cut it, there's no dunking
You
it
can't touch it
into
all.
anything.
Yeah.
No soaking it. No getting a brush. No paint or whatever. You cut it and it goes straight into the box.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's good. They're watching you. Whatever. It is what it is. You made your brisket. It should stand on its own. All little. Can you add seasonings?
No.
I don't think you. Once
I
it's
think
sliced, I don't think you're
Once
allowed to touch
once you
all.
cut it,
I don't
you
like
cannot.
that.
Once you cut it, you.
I want to be
cannot
able
do
to add
anything
everything
it.
I
Right.
want.
I think
Like,
Just because Jan wants
I
to
don't
do
want
these little little salt bay
listen,
things.
I don't
every-
care. Right. I don't care what everybody else does. I want to be able to do whatever I want.
You should be able to do whatever you want
I
to,
know.
right? For the most
Yeah.
part, I mean,
Yeah.
you're treating it how you would eat it if you were going to eat it. So why not
You're trying to get it's your product.
make it as good as you can?
I serve my product this way. Why not?
Right.
Anybody
Yeah,
else can
John's
do it
just
too.
one of those millennial.
Well, they're
cooks,
trying
so,
to do an apples to apples type thing,
Right.
right? That's what
Me
they're trying-
personally, I'm going to get some like glucose strips, and I'm gonna put it to the brisket. And I'm like, no, disqualified, out. You're
I like
gone.
it.
You're done, son. Sorry. Hey,
What's wrong
that's
with
me.
you?
Okay.
Little yawn there.
Hey, cheers, motherfuckers.
Beers. Beers to you.
So, one last little off the topic subject. I saw that NASA, and I don't know what they're preparing for. I saw they shot a freaking satellite. I think it was a satellite or a rocket. I'm not really sure. Thousands of miles away to hit a asteroid to see if they can knock it off course.
Yeah.
It's some type of interstellar
Yeah.
space program it's defense program. And then so now they're talking about there's like a 6,000 mile wide long, 6,000 mile long, like debris filled
Trail.
Crashing in there.
trail after it's crashed into it. So they knocked it off course, and they're tracking it. NASA, they're smart. They
Now
know
they're like-
they know where it's going. But
That shit's coming towards us. That's what they're going to say next.
well, I was
We
joking
have
around with
made a
these guys. So it's
mistake.
like, cause and effect. Like we don't know, and this thing's going to go off, and
That's not good.
it's gonna like a billiard effect. It's going to hit another asteroid, and that's going to throw that off a trajectory. And now we're going to have a giant planet killer just like on its way. And I was joking around. I was like, this is some fucking Armageddon shit. It's like Bruce Willis,
Yeah.
and
Right.
Look,
just
that's
trying
why
to
they-
drill into this rock. Like, let's send some old hands up there and see if we
That
can
was- that was
plant
the
a
point of
nuke in this
thing.
motherfucker.
I just don't understand what the. I mean, obviously, you want to be able to track and see, like, hey, can we hit something out
Yeah.
in space and whatever. But,
That's what it was.
But I get that. But at the same time, you're like, Now they're like, shit, we have a whole lot of obstacles to start tracking because
Right.
that thing's going to go off in space somewhere.
They just wanted to see if they could, if something was coming towards Earth,
Yeah,
if
could
they
you
would
do
be
it?
able to divert it. They wanted to see how far they could divert it. They fired that thing off last fall. That's how long it took to get to that.
That's what I
thing.
was going to ask. Like,
It was
how
a
long
long,
ago?
yeah. It
So
was like
last
I can
fall,
remember it was October or November, but it was
and it
almost
was
a year ago.
Direct hit today.
That's pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
Or within
It
the
was a
last
couple
week.
weeks.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
last week or two.
That's pretty cool.
The science, the math involved doing that,
Right.
impressive, 100%.
It's crazy.
So wait,
right?
is the concern that they launched this thing last fall and it created some debris, and now they think that debris is going to hit Earth?
No.
Nope.
'Cause I was like, that's
the debris,
yeah, okay.
it
Yeah,
just
some
started.
debris.
It just
It's
hit
just debris.
yesterday.
Yeah.
I was about to say
something
the
today.
chances. Okay.
Yeah.
The chances of it ever doing anything to us is like, but again,
Well, not to
It's
us.
one of those
To our
things.
kids.
Those aliens
Right.
way over there.
Who cares
they-
about them?
not us.
yeah, the green guys over there, the lizard people. But it's like that butterfly effect. Like as soon as you something across the world, you change something over there, and it has a ripple effect.
Well, you got
anyways,
some alien race now. It's gonna be like they just fired a missile at us.
Them's
Right?
fighting words.
Let's get them. I don't know.
and this is the grabbing the brisket podcast. We're all fixing to
James
grab our
is-
beers,
Definitely grab the beers.
and John is fixing to go into the.
There it is.
Hot off the grill barbecue news. And we've got just a couple things. I guess the first one, the biggest one, which we'll probably touch on more in just a little bit here, is QU. You guys heard of this barbecue team, maybe?
Yeah, I heard of them a couple times.
I think
it's weird.
everybody's fixing to hear about them.
Yeah. So they're out there at the Royale and won first place in the Invitational, and then turned around the next day and won first place in the Open. So
Open.
grand champion in both.
So it's unbelievable.
The first time ever
Like,
happened.
So I mean, I don't know if you really caught what that really means, and like, can you dissect that a little bit as far as the invitational?
Yeah, so
and then-
if those that don't know, the Invitational is just for those that were invited out that had won a grand champion in the last year or whatever. So there's 150 of those
it's got to be a
teams.
sanctioned cook-off,
Right.
You have to belong to that whatever.
Sanctioning body.
Yeah, I think,
it was
maybe
KCBS,
200,
right?
200, yeah,
Yeah,
200
It's
plus.
over like 270
Yeah.
teams.
For the Invitational?
Correct.
Okay, I didn't realize that. And then for the Open is basically anybody can come out, but it ended up being over 500 teams.
So it is, but it's a combination of the invitation guys.
Right. They're doing both days.
So they have to cook both days. So everything they did on day one, they turn and do again on day two, and they're going against people that didn't do anything the day one.
Right.
So in one way, they beat 275 teams or 260 teams, whatever it is, and the very next day they beat out all those other people and another
Right.
300 plus teams. It's 570 teams total.
Right.
that they
We've
won.
got to get them on
That's
the
crazy.
podcast. I
Yeah.
want to know if they did.
I know it's never been
everything-
done before.
I want to know if they did everything exactly the same in both of them.
Well, we have him booked
You know what I
next
mean?
week, so
What?
There
we'll
it
talk
is.
to him then.
Do we?
Yeah.
I cannot believe
Hey,
it.
I want
So,
to ask him that. Like, did they do the same thing in both cooks?
Right.
You know what I mean?
His
Let's get
name
him
is
on.
Grant Baselier, and he'll be on next week.
There it is. So
Nice.
you'll get firsthand knowledge of what they are doing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of honestly, there's a lot of people that walked, and a lot of people that got calls, and a lot of people got on this stage for us to mention. But we'll try to get some of those names out there to you. But if you wanted to catch up, I'm sure the Barbecue News Magazine is going to have a rundown as far as who won, what came out. I know our buddy Bill Purvis over there, Chicken Fried Barbecue. I know they got 8th overall on the. I don't know if it's the second day or the first day.
I think it's the second
I think it was the second day, yeah.
Second day.
Open, which is freaking phenomenal. 8th out of 500. I think
That's
they
right.
said 505 teams, maybe. But that's crazy. A couple other things. We mentioned the NBBQA, their Awards of Excellence. We've been talking about all the different things you can enter. That starts, they're taking entries this week. And the Jack Daniels is coming up. But that's, I mean, by the time this comes out, it's this coming weekend.
That's
So,
right. We should go to that.
I have, yeah,
Yeah.
we should at some point. Anyways, that's it for Barbecue News. Barbecue News Magazine, NBBQA, all that stuff.
There it is.
Nice.
Hey, once again, thank you so much, Kel Phelps, for hooking us up.
And this is a perfect transition into what we like to call the Grabbing the Brisket.
Beer review.
There it is.
What'd you bring us, Matt?
I would tell you if I had a can because I poured mine.
Okay, what did you bring us, Jen?
We have the Super Smash from Yours and Truly, the Martin House, which we've seen so many Martin Houses. I'm not even sure why it's even a thing now. You should automatically assume it's a Martin House, unless otherwise we tell you. But yeah, this is a
Pumpkin Stout.
pumpkin stout. It's got a badass little can right here for sure.
We're negotiating like maybe this might be the Martin House Studios.
Right.
I mean, it's like
Matt just lives
if
here.
we've ever had more of an unofficial official sponsor.
Right.
Yeah. Made in Texas by Texans, 10% alcohol by volume. This beer is definitely going to get you there, and I haven't tried it yet, but I'm hoping it's going to be tasty AF.
You think that's a reason it's called Super Smash?
100% it's called Super Smash because if you drink a whole can of this, you're going to be super smashed.
I'm gonna be super smashed.
Yeah. Give it a taste.
It's got a little bite to it for sure.
Okay.
I'm picking up a little spice, like a little eggnog spice or something.
I think we got to get more alcohol in that
I'm
thing.
picking up a 10% taste here.
You say more alcohol?
Yeah, definitely. Way more alcohol.
Damn.
Let's go 14 with this, baby. Come on. Don't stop at 10.
You know, make it a liquor. Why
Yeah.
not?
Do they make whiskey beers? Let's just get one of those.
This is like it's like a legal, what's the one in Texas, in case you didn't know, you can't buy alcohol or liquor. You cannot buy liquor at grocery stores, and you can only buy liquor through the week, except for Sundays, right? Sundays is off limits, closed. But lately, they've been selling the Fireball in HEB, but it's made with the malt liquor instead of like whiskey or something.
Right.
So that's how they're getting away with it, because it's like, it tastes like Fireball, but it's got a malt liquor in it.
I think it's lower alcohol content.
It's going to probably give you a super headache. And
they do a lot of those like rice wine things that way too. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But
Probably
this thing.
Probably give you the shits.
This thing right here. Booyah.
Nice.
This is delicious. This is kind of similar to this, but you're not getting some malt liquor.
It's probably one of my favorite stouts that I've had from Martin House.
Wow.
I'll be honest.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
It's very it's very just lack of a better word, it's very chill. It's not super bitter. I'd imagine the IBUs are kind of like low on it,
You think?
but there's a lot of alcohol punch on the back end. I'm not really getting a whole lot of pumpkin. I mean, there might be a little spice.
Get a little bit. We get a little bit of pumpkin.
Yeah, well, what's the flavor though you're really picking up? Chocolate.
Stout.
Chocolate.
I feel like I'm just like
Yeah.
if you said this is a stout, I'd be like, there's a little something there.
I'm getting some
Right.
spices, but
Yeah,
that's
this stout, a little bit of spice, a little bit of pumpkin.
So what we're saying is they need to go mega pumpkin.
Oh, I think it's good for what it is.
It's good.
They could.
Right.
They could
They
do
could.
a super pumpkin smash.
Just
So
grind
that's
up
what I'm saying. But this is a super
roasted pumpkin seeds.
super smash.
Yeah.
This is a pumpkin stout. Should they have more pumpkin in this?
Yeah. Well, it just depends. As a stout, this ranks really well for me. As a pumpkin beer, no.
Yeah, the one we had previously last week. This
weeks
drink's
ago.
already got me. The
There's some big words coming out of here, man. Let's
the
do
Voodoo
this.
Ranger, the spicy one that we did. It was the Atomic Pumpkin or whatever it is. I
Yeah.
think that's probably better than this right here.
Oof. Ouch.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to rate this one then? And then we'll compare it to whatever you gave that rating.
Okay.
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 As he drinks more. I need more.
8.0.
Wow.
That's a good score.
Okay.
That's a great score for me, James. I'm actually digging this beer.
Yeah.
I am digging this beer. I have a score in my head, but do y'all have a score? Do y'all want to go
No,
next?
you go ahead. I want to hear
Okay.
yours.
I like it. I know earlier I said, make it 14%. I think it has a really good alcohol flavor at the back end. You're definitely getting that, and the flavor's great. I'm in the 8s as well. I'm an 8.6.
Wow.
8.6. This beer is really good.
Dang.
They're
Okay.
they're really high on this thing,
It is good.
or they're just really high.
No,
High on live, John.
that's right. High on life.
I'm going to give this one an 8.2.
There it is.
8.2.
That's a good score, man. This beer is really good.
You know, and I actually like that it's not
Yeah.
super pumpkin-y
I-
and super whatever spice.
Martin House Brewery, Fort Worth, Texas. John, give him a score.
Dude, I love Martin House, but I'm trying to not let y'all mess with my score because I'm not that high on this thing.
Well, you're usually the highest out of all
I know.
of us.
I just ain't
Josh
doing it for me.
John, did you eat today?
You feeling
You
okay?
full?
You got
Not
the
any of
COVID?
You good?
You get COVID?
I don't think so. Maybe. I'm gonna go 6.3.
Whoa.
6-3.
It's good. I would drink another one.
Are
and
you
it's
even-
crappy, but it's
Damn.
okay.
Are you even reviewing the same thing that we're reviewing?
I don't know.
Okay, why don't you try my cup?
Why
Yeah.
don't you
Drink it out of this cup right here.
Put mine in your mouth and see if it's the same.
No.
Try this one. Try this. Try out the cup. I poured
It's
it.
the same.
I gave it a heavy pour. Try it. There you go.
That's way better than
Drink deep.
6-3, man. Come on. You know this and I know this. You're just being hater.
I'm not trying to be.
Oh,
You know I
hater
like
me.
giving high scores,
I
but
know.
this.
Well, hey, Martin House, we tried to
Is what
get you
it
there
is.
yet again, but John bamboozled us. He got in there and
Our
Right.
close personal friends at Martin House Brewery.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, John.
Sorry,
Davis,
guys.
So.
It was almost the Martin House recording studios,
it was
but
all, well, John ruined it.
maybe next week. Hey, tune in next week. We're going to review another.
Revere.
We're going to reveal another
You
Martin
mentioned
House.
it's over 10%. Like,
Right. We're going to reveal another Martin House Brewery beer that we're going to review.
It's 38%.
There it is.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, we'll just review some straight liquor. Let's
do
just
it.
review some.
Why-
Apple
at
juice.
this
Why not,
point,
you know.
Let's just funnel some. We'll funnel some in our ass. We'll tell you how fast we got lit that night. This is going to be great. Cannot wait.
I'm going to be out of town
I
next week.
can't wait to call in sick and like, oh, I'm
Conclude.
sorry,
Bring
guys.
us in, James. Bring us in.
The grabbing the brisket.
Beer review. Just a beer review. Cha-cha.
There it is.
Yeah.
And this takes us into the barbecue portion of this podcast.
You're done.
I
I
thought
know
we
a
did
lot.
that already. Oh,
Right.
okay.
I know a lot of people listening and a lot of people watching are like, are these guys doing barbecue?
Do they even talk
What-
barbecue?
We don't even give a shit if they do barbecue, but we do barbecue, and we just got back from the American Royal.
Royal.
Apparently, I
I
got.
prefer Royale.
Yeah.
You know,
It
it's
just sounds
yeah.
southern.
Apparently, I got.
American
Yeah, I got
Royale.
corrected like many a
Royale.
times. I'm like,
No, it's a
yes,
Royal.
Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Let's go. So
Yeah, I don't think they're doing that to James. I think it's more of it's American Royal.
it's
Yep.
American Royal.
You
Royal
say it-
Blue. I get it. I understand it.
Yeah.
Initial trip up there, it was just nothing. Like
great.
we
Once
went,
you get outside of Texas, it's just
yeah, and I'm not trying to throw shade on any other states, but once we got into
Oklahoma,
Oklahoma,
it was beautiful.
very beautiful state.
Yeah.
There's just
Great.
nothing there.
There's a lot of Brahms.
A lot of Brahms.
Brahms. Hey, Brahms. And it got so bad. We're driving. We're like, shit. Don't look. There's no
We
Brahms.
wanted to stop somewhere to eat, but it was like Brahms.
I feel like their
Brahms.
slogan should be "It ain't no Whataburger."
Right.
I'm like, do you people
There's one on that
just?
corner.
It's like, do you?
They're single-handedly just killing all Oklahomians with their Brahms burger.
Oklahomies.
It's not good.
Right.
Don't eat that shit.
Are Oklahomies up
Drive south. Get away from that place.
Yeah, are they just that infatuated with ice cream that they're just allowing that chain just to hang on?
They had a great malt. I'll tell them.
Hey,
that was
I'll
good.
say that.
Ice cream's
Listen,
good.
great malt.
You can. It's so obviously if you've never been there, it's a place you can go get. It's hamburgers and whatever that assortment. Also, they've got you've got milk, fresh milk there, fresh eggs there, cheeses. There's a whole lot of stuff that
There's
they
a little
have.
store, right?
Yeah, it's not.
I want to go
it's
to a
little
fast food
grocery store.
restaurant and pick up some groceries.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Super
if
weird.
you think about it, it's worked. It's worked for a long time. They've been out there for a long time. And we were kids.
1932.
When we were kids, we wanted to go to Brahms, right? We wanted to go to Brahms, hang out. But now I'm an adult, and I had a Brahms chicken sandwich, and that was disgusting.
Are we about to
Not
get
doing
a
that.
bunch of hate from a whole bunch of people who are
Right,
like,
maybe.
Are there like
I don't know.
like there's like Whataburger fans out there, and there's like Brahms fans. They got,
I
like,
don't think
Brahms
anybody's
shirts
out there
and
rocking
Brahms
some
hats.
Brahms.
No.
Yeah, I don't think
Brahms
anybody's
is
out
more
there.
like a Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if they are Brahms fans, they probably don't have the internet.
Well, maybe.
You did mention like so we're also there's like a shit ton of like solar wind farms out there. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Well, they're not solar.
Not solar, all the wind farms
There's
out
wind
there.
farms, yeah.
His solar wind farms.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
minds are being blown right now. Jesus, we got solar wind farms now.
All the Democrats are
Right.
just like, sign me up.
Hey, that's the new plan going forward. We're going solar wind farms. Also, we're going to do hydro with that as well. It's going to be crazy. We're going to shoot water at that blade.
Solar hydro,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
wind farm.
Right.
And there's going to be so much hydroponics growing down below.
That probably
Done.
is true. There probably will be hydroponics.
You did mention some crazy, weird Oklahoma like prison type deal on the way up there.
There is a listen. Oklahoma don't play, and there's probably other states that do this. I didn't actually know this, and maybe if I'm wrong, and maybe Texas does this, and I don't know. But I know in Oklahoma, when you go to prison there, you start incurring a debt when you go in, and when you get out, you're going to pay that debt. And if you don't pay that debt, they're going to put your ass back in prison. And I think that's like a thing. Like you're having to pay for the time you're serving, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Is that just for state prisons? I assume.
I'm assuming, yeah. I actually helped a guy out one time he got in trouble and he owed money for his little stint, and I was like, he was working. I gave him a job to help pay it off, and he worked and he paid it off, and it was good. But
Is that like to encourage them to like have a job while they're in prison?
so it's it's to get out of prison and go get a job, right? You're not going to be unproductive. Basically, go get a job, start paying back your debt to society. Basically, you served your time, great. You still cost you to house, feed, and everything else,
Right.
So
and they got a commissary, some type of like store that they can.
I'm sure.
Purchase
Yeah, I've never been to
goods
prison,
from.
man. Listen,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know all of that.
We got off into prison
I just
talk.
found that intriguing.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I found it intriguing that once you get out, you're handed a bill, and you're like, to me, it's kind of like, shit, it's hard for people to get jobs, and that's kind of a conundrum. What if they can't find a job as easily as anybody else because they have a record, and yet they're still having to pay back? I know it's a portion; you're not paying back their entire thing or whatever it is, but there's money they have to pay back. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Write and let us know.
Go to prison
So-
somewhere else.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely 100%.
Don't go to Arizona.
But do go to the American Royale. I mean, that was
where we
a awesome
Yeah.
event for us to be a part of and us to check out. I was super proud and super honored to be invited by Kel Phelps and Janet with the NBBQA and the Barbecue News Magazine. Thanks for having us out
It's,
there.
Is there
Miss
two better
Janet.
people?
No.
There's not two better people.
It's Kale and Miss Janet.
Yeah, yeah, and they're already like,
That's
we
great.
can't wait to see it. The next one, blah blah. I sent him a link to that little video that James posted today of us running on the track, and they were just dying.
Oh, really? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's our
shenanigans.
Ricky Bobby moment there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They're excellent hosts, though.
Oh, amazing people.
And I know in our
Amazing.
last episode, the one from the Royale, we touched a little bit on our first night there and going to the state competition and all that. We already kind of got into that. But that next day, we were out there. When we first got there, and Kel wasn't quite at the trailer yet, we were walking around with Miss Janet. We ran into Jonathan Barbecue out there.
Yep.
Got to talk to him for a while. But the part that blew me away is Kel comes walking up, and he's like, "Oh, I was talking to Tuffy Stone." And we're like, just
Okay.
looking at him like,
Damn,
"Oh,
that's-
wow." And he's
that's
like,
cool.
"Oh,
Sweet.
he's like, "You want to talk to him?" We're like,
Yeah. That's
sure.
neat.
But when we get over there, it's not like he's just like, "Hey, Tuffy, where you at?" He calls Tuffy and he's like, "Hey, there's some guys out here that you need to meet."
Right.
Like he needs to meet us.
Put him on
Right.
the spot.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
It was cool. It was definitely cool. And also, not to mention, you had
You had Caden.
Caden,
Yes.
right? And meeting him.
That was my highlight.
Oh
of the
man, it
weekend.
was so cool. Him just going, "You're with grabbing the brisket." I watch y'all, and just getting that experience to. And how many competitions has this kid been cooking in? I mean, it's his passion.
He's
Yeah.
winning them
You know,
all too. He's out there
is.
cooking with Tuffy Stone. That's
and,
awesome.
And obviously he's battled a lot as a young kid. He's, the diagnosis, the treatments, and everything else. He gave up sports and he got into barbecue, and it's been kicking ass ever since. So big shout out to him. I can't. Do you remember his actual social media?
On Instagram, I know it's KBs_outdoor_kitchen.
Okay.
On TikTok, it's something else. I can't remember it. It's food over hate or something like that. But if you go to his Instagram, I'm sure you can find his link to his TikTok.
Okay,
there.
so we'll definitely give him a shout out on here
Yeah.
because follow him because he's got an amazing story, and he's kicking ass on the barbecue circuit.
Super cool
Yeah.
kid.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah, and he really loved my Pit Viper sunglasses, so I'm just saying, I don't care if I have to pay out of my own pocket. I'm
Let's
buying
get him some.
Let's give him
Viper
some Pit
sunglasses.
Vipers. That's right.
I almost
mean,
took him the pair off my face and just
Yeah, here
handed
you
it
go,
to
brother.
him. but
Take them.
It's one of those like, yeah, it's one of
they're
those
too
kind
big. They're
of
too big.
surreal moments that you have in your life. At least for me, it was with meeting Caden and meeting some of the other people out there that what we're doing here as far as communicating about barbecue and hanging around and just drinking with friends and
Drinking.
drinking. We do a lot of drinking, whatever, but you don't really recognize what kind of like reach you have, what kind of imprint that you're leaving on other people.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me back for just a little bit when we got to meet all these people, and they're like, "Hey, I've heard of Grabbing the Brisket. Love you guys." And I'm like, nobody's heard of us. What are you talking about? This is so weird. Jan had somebody like the
yeah.
Dirty Underwear Gang that we had on like very early in
He
our
was
podcast
like, "Man, grab the
career.
brisket. Let's take a picture."
He wanted a picture,
Yeah,
and I was like,
yeah.
"Man, this
Super
is
nice guys.
I am
Yeah,
blown
those guys are
away."
great.
About
They were fun.
all the people that we ran across the dark side of the grill.
Big Girl Hay.
Yeah, when I ran into Hey Grill Hey and they noticed me and they knew who I was and I was grabbing the brisket, it definitely wasn't because the name tag around my neck that said grabbing the brisket with my face on it. What because that? It's because they recognize me personally. That's how they.
Todd and Susie are great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Blazing Star.
That's right.
Man, that grill they made for NBBQA, that thing was.
You're talking about
the cotton gin smoker.
Cotton gin, thank you.
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
man,
the cotton
we
gin
got to talk
smokers.
about that because that looked amazing.
No, 100%. Yeah, but I was
Yeah.
saying, but Mike was out there. He was helping out Team Shed for the
Mike Starr.
Yeah, with Blazing Star. But he was helping out Team Shed, or he was with Team Shed for the Porkapalooza this year. So he's part of that team, and it was cool watching, what those guys put together.
Yeah.
Actually, all of those guys. It wasn't just him, but you had First Class Barbecue out there putting their stuff.
Hey,
Mark Lambert.
Mark Lambert putting his. Stretch.
I didn't realize that the whole hog competition had like a whole you had to entertain the judges.
Yeah.
That's
it's
right.
not
It's a
just,
show.
You can't just cook. You have to do a presentation.
Yeah.
It's a
and
show.
they have on their scorecard. There's that's a category.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So.
And we do have some pictures and videos from that event. That should already be up on our website and our YouTube by now. So if you haven't already seen some stuff from that, go check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Shed. I mean, real quick, the Shed's barbecue was a hog on a hog. They actually
cool.
built a small motorcycle out of metal and everything else, and then propped this hog up and smoked a hog on top of this motorcycle.
Yeah. They're doing them in the, what do they call it, the running position?
Yeah.
Is that what Cal called it?
Yeah, the running position, right? So, Stretch had the Dr.
Durago or
whatever from the island, right? It was basically two hogs sewn
Dr.
together.
Margo.
Yeah.
Sewn together.
Yeah, so it was head to head.
Two head hog.
And then he had
Yeah.
a butt to butt.
Butt to
Right,
butt.
That was
and
pretty
then a
good.
butt to
Yeah.
butt. I mean,
There was a guy that tattooed his hogs.
Oh, they look good too. I mean, those hogs look good. First Class, in my opinion, had one of the best.
It was
tasting-
fantastic. Really, really good.
Tasting, and
I
then,
only
then
tried
Mark
4.
Lambert's.
I
Mark
think-
Lambert's was amazing as well.
4 or 5. I think we had Mark Lambert and Robert Smith kind of head to head.
Yeah,
Never tried Boar's Night Out. They're the ones that won.
they won it again.
Won the whole
Yeah.
thing.
They won it again. So whatever they're doing, it's amazing.
They had the pork rinds, right? The Boar's Night Out, was that them?
Those pork rinds are pretty good with that chimichurri.
Yeah, I
Oh,
did
I
get to
bet
try
they
some pork
were.
rinds. Those were good.
I was hovering
John,
over Kel's shoulder the entire
I'll
time,
tell you
so I
what.
got to try everything.
It is hard to pass up a good pork rind.
Change your life.
Yeah.
What would you do for a pork rind, John?
A fresh
Yeah,
pork
I don't
rind?
know. James?
They had.
Is there something you would-
I watched. They took the torch
It's just a-
to this thing, and they already
takes you
had
back.
They already had the pig scored, and I don't know if they did it there at the Hogapalooza or if they did it another place, because I noticed some of them were Porkapalooza. Some of them were running 2 hogs, and they would take one off to another location, which would be, I think, it's a sponsor type of event,
Yeah.
where they would do whatever. But I watched them take a torch and blast the skin of the pig, and it would just fold over, just creating these
pulled back.
chicharrones, these pork rinds, pork skins. It was a sight for sure.
Yeah. Did you get video of that, Matt? I thought you had. I know I saw that video somewhere. I thought it was one
I
you
did.
sent me.
I was
so.
I was all up in there getting those.
I'll post some of that so folks can see.
After the 4th judging, I've already had about 40 pounds of pork. I'm just I can't go anymore. I'm done. I'm tapping out. I'm Matt was sitting there running around with the judges.
Yeah.
They kept
He's
trying
in
to
the
give me
front row.
food because I thought I was a judge because I was all up in there the whole time.
Yeah, Matt looked like a judge.
I thought he was the judge, too.
He's standing next to Kel. Every time Kel got a piece, Matt got a piece. I'm like,
Right.
Jesus, Matt's just up there, just
Get selective. Hey, can I just get a little bit of that right there?
Right.
I was with Kel. He's like, "Can I get a jowl? Can I get a jowl?" And I was like, "That jowl's
So
pretty damn
I
good."
like the fact what they did as far as one. Obviously, so if you've never seen this before, you get this whole hog sitting up there. They're going to go through and they're going to cut this whole thing down the middle, and they're going to pull off portions from each part of the of the hog, right?
Right.
So you're getting some belly, you're getting some cheek, you're
I
getting
love
some,
seeing them all pull that
some-
loin out, that whole
Yeah,
thing
whole
of
loin.
loin,
Pull that
just kinda
loin
just
out.
pulling it apart.
The
Yeah,
bacon,
and
the
they're-
bacon meat.
They're reaching right in, but that's the cool thing. They're reaching right in. And they're pulling that whole loin out whole,
Yeah.
as it's cooked,
Yeah.
which is pretty badass. And then slicing it right in front of them and going, here, try it. And they're throwing these medallions out to people, through the crowd. So I thought that was pretty cool. One thing that we did have a little faux pas, right? if you remember or not,
I don't
Matt,
think
but
we didn't
had
have a faux pas.
Right.
I think I did.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulty. We had some great interviews, and we captured those interviews on video. But for some reason, the audio was it just didn't happen. The audio cut out.
So if you want us to post those videos without any audio, let us know. We'll post those.
We can
I think
post.
we like dub over it like Japanese or
So
something.
definitely, I think we should dub over this and do it in a funny way.
Make them say stuff.
Yeah,
Grab
because
them into brisket.
that's
It's
all
the
we
greatest thing
can
I've
say,
ever-
right? I mean, like you can't prove it wrong, and obviously we'll do it in good fun. But I mean, dude, we lost the audio, and we had some great interviews that we did. And
Mark Lambert.
Mark's was great. Stretch was great.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen, I mean, obviously, if you're into barbecue, you've seen those guys and what they're about. So, and then also the big thing about the Porkapalooza was the Operation Barbecue Hope, right? OBR. So, or is that I'm saying
Operation Barbecue Relief.
Yeah, Relief. Yeah, that's just a great organization. And watching these teams, they're all competing against each other, and you can tell, right? They want this. They want this win. But at the same time, they're still helping each other out. They're all doing whatever. And the common theme I heard was a lot of people were like, hey, what kind of seasoning? Like, everybody there was using, supposedly the Boar's Night Out rubs, on or whatever.
Every one of them was.
Yeah, the White Lightning or whatever they're using. And then they're adding their own spin to it. So I guess it's fitting that they won, but it was just an awesome event to be a part of.
We could honestly name drop the folks that we ran into all night, but it was just super fun. The whole thing was great.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody that partied Friday night.
That's right. You have Bullhorn Barbecue over there.
Yeah, Bullhorn Barbecue.
Did he win?
Won.
Bob Rocha.
Did he win?
Party.
Yeah, he deserved
again.
that.
He won
deserved that.
three time, 4 time, 3 time.
I don't know, but when he found out he won it, he was just like almost like, geez, thank God, they had done a big party.
Right.
He's like, who else would have won? He's like, I don't know who else would have won,
Yeah, right.
but I wasn't gonna leave it up to chance. I mean, he had a badass little place.
I only went to one other party that night, and Bullhorn was definitely like the one. So.
Oh man, I went.
You actually hey, we're going back to Bullhorn.
yeah.
To hang out because I mean, there was a lot of people that threw huge parties, but it was very like corporate. Just like I imagine there's probably some Barry Manilow or
the Marriott
some
party was not kicking.
Some Kenny G kicking around a little bit, some sax or a little bit of horns going on.
No, they had some big. The Marriott party was whatever.
I know it was off the chain.
What was that one? I went into one booth. I walked around it and then walked to the back side of it and started talking to them. And then they ended up being from Texas,
League City, right?
League City. Like, what are the odds?
Yeah.
Or whatever else. I didn't know the guy. The guy didn't say anything to me.
He runs the barbecue and I'll remember it. He out of League City. He runs a spice company where he has a lot of the competition spices that we utilize. So,
what does that mean? He makes our spices for them.
No.
He sells the rubs and stuff like that.
Warehouses. He keeps it.
Okay.
He has a website where you order directly from him.
That's
Barbecue Emporium? No, I'm
Interesting.
missing that.
Interesting. Well, hey, it was cool running into them. I think I walked into like 15 different places. At some point, some guy was like, "Hey, man, it's a private party." And I was just standing there, weaving back and forth, looking at wide-eyed, just like, "Yeah."
Like, do you know what this media pass means?
Yeah, and he's just like,
All
shit,
access.
This dude's blanked out. I'm like, all right, bro, let's get a beer, get some water, make yourself at home.
Ran into Myron Mixon. Myron Mixon was the
right.
Hey Grill Hey.
Yeah.
Unveiling his new pellet grill.
Yeah, Kansas City barbecue store, I think it was their tent. But yeah, Susie and Todd were in there, and we
there
went
was
in
a
there.
reason for that, right? What was the reason why he was unveiling this new?
Yeah, he's got a brand new. I think there's a couple different ones. They're pellet grills, and they're badass. But apparently, whoever he was teamed up with before that was making them for him is taking their operations overseas. So he's like, "Nah, I want it made in America." So he teamed up with Smoking Brothers, who I don't know if you guys have heard of them. They make pellet grills, and everything about them is American made.
Okay.
So they're making them for him, and they are beasts. His big one will hold, 12 full size pans. So you could hold at least 12 briskets in that thing.
Yeah, heck yeah.
It's pretty crazy. They were super nice. But yeah, when we walked into that tent, Myron was in there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Myron makes it, whatever. Ran in.
He got to see us.
No big deal.
RecTech's booth was awesome. We did not get to link up with Jody, so we will reach out to Jody with RecTech to kind of get that, hopefully get some kind of relationship started with those guys. But I was impressed with their booth. So
yeah, they were super friendly.
They were really friendly.
Shout out to everybody on Saturday night that decided not to party.
Yeah, that place died.
Yeah, man.
That is a very ghost town on Saturday nights.
I don't get that.
So weird.
That is so weird. Like, that is really.
I did not expect that.
I feel like we need to have a booth next time, and we'll be the only people to party on Saturday night.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Dude,
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna have some Revenge of the Nerds. You know what I mean? Let's get it going. That's. I don't even understand how
everybody's out there. Like,
I was like,
who's
if this thing
barbecue?
was in Texas, Friday night, Thursday night would have been crazy. Friday night would have been absurd, and Saturday night, like Katie bar the door. This place is going to be turned up.
It was like 500 individual parties of like 2 to 3 people.
Yeah,
that was it.
If that, a lot of places were just dead. There was nothing.
Right.
I will say that the little Texas area we went to, Hawaii had the most people out, and it still wasn't very many.
Well, do you know why though? Right, the town you're in. It's just a small. It's just that's not a very. I mean, I know Kansas City's a big town. We're around the outside of it, but what is the population of Kansas City? I mean, is it like is it like 2 million?
I don't know.
Like, do they not drink?
What night did we go out to that bar?
Do they not advertise?
Was that Saturday night?
Saturday night.
Saturday night. Yeah.
If this was Texas, it'd be a little bit of a different party. Maybe we need to keep going back up there. Maybe we need to show them.
Show them how to do it.
That Saturday night.
Oh, we're going back up there. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're going next year for sure.
Party is Friday night.
Yeah.
Maybe
You know what I
because
mean?
of the people that did shitty on Friday night because they partied, regrouped themselves. No, wait. Partied, yeah. They partied
do you know
Friday
why
night.
it's- do you know why
They
it's
partied
the-
Friday night, hung over Saturday, tried to get their stuff going, couldn't get it going, and turned in shit stuff. And then they did not party Saturday night, clean, just waking up refreshed. Everything was rocking and rolling.
Well, see, I feel like this is a really good
true.
opportunity to give the listeners like some inside scoop on a barbecue team. So every barbecue team needs the people who know how to really cook and do a really good job at that, are dedicated, and then they need people who are like really good at partying.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
you have two
You need
sides to every barbecue team.
So I think historically, I mean, a lot of these teams that are known for that type. You could see the setups that were whatever, right? But like you look at like, look at like in our
Even RecTech, they partied like hell the first night and nothing the second night.
Yeah.
I guess
Bullhorn was the same thing. There was nobody over there the second night, really. It was nothing.
Yeah.
Everybody, I mean, I guess that's just how they do it there. I don't know.
Super sad.
I like Matt's idea.
We partied.
Next year, Saturday night, we're going to have the Grab and Brisket tent.
Yeah.
And it's going to be popping.
The only
Maybe
party
we just
going.
get a tent.
And we don't even set up till Saturday?
Just get a tent, bro. We're just there to party.
Like a Coleman tent?
Yeah.
We'll just set it up on the grass.
Apparently,
next time we're
I don't
gonna
think we
throw-
even need a tent. We just need to like go hang out at the finish line.
No, next time
Right.
NBBQA, and we're going to have one hell of a party over there on that track over there, right there in the pit row.
Yeah.
And we're just going to have a huge party out there. And then guess what? Nobody's going to win because we're not even entered in that cook-off. Nobody's going to win the. So some what is this? NBBQA won the best party of the year. What is happening? That's what it's going to be.
Right.
Come on, Kel, we got this. Let's do this, man.
So,
That's awesome.
should we transition over to? Do we have a barbecue fail today?
We do, but before we do that, can we take a quick break? Let a
John's
sponsor
teeth
pay our
are,
bills.
floating.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you in part by Oklahoma Joe's new Ryder Deluxe pellet grills.
Since the company's humble beginnings in 1987, Oklahoma Joe has helped those who appreciate the process and the craft of smoking.
What began with Joe Davidson, a member of the Barbecue Hall of Fame, and a dozen hand-built smokers at the Oklahoma State Fair over 30 years ago, has since forged an Oklahoma Joe's brand that builds some of the most sought-after smokers.
Oklahoma Joe has a proud history of creating uncompromising smokers and grills with carefully crafted design, and the newest generation of the popular Ryder Series pellet grills carries on this tradition.
The new features in the Oklahoma Joe's Rider Deluxe pellet grills include a Pit Control 2.0 system that delivers the category's first dual sensor temperature control.
Fire-focused dual sensor feedback optimizes temperature control based on selected cooking styles, low and slow smoking, or high heat grilling.
A power feed system that boasts the high torque auger motor that powers through pellets for incredible power and performance.
The new Rider Deluxe series builds on several popular features, including smoke and sear modes, which features an impressive temperature range that runs from 200 degrees Fahrenheit to a searing hot 650 degrees Fahrenheit, and a 20-pound quick draw hopper that allows unused pellets to be drained in seconds for simple storage, removal, and swapping of pellet flavors. Guys, if you want to find out more information about the new Rider Deluxe series pellet grills from Oklahoma Joe, check out the Oklahoma Joe's website, and the link is in our description in the bio, and that's oklahomajoe.com.
And this week's win/fail, we don't know, is from Aaron. So cue it up, John.
Hey guys, this is Aaron Bell 236 from TikTok. I just wanted to call and thank you for the kind comments on my first brisket cook. It was a fabulous cook, 12.5-pound brisket. I'd never tried a brisket before. My friends all said I could do it. I wasn't convinced, so they went out and bought it for me and made me cook it. It was a nice long 18-hour cook.
Ooh.
Came out super juicy, really nice bark, and everybody said the flavor was on point. So anyway, thanks for the shout out, and we love your content. Take care, guys.
All right. Well, hey,
This is what I'm
if,
talking
if
about.
everybody gave you kudos, and good for you. But
Yeah.
Well, did you say it was a
Barbecue win right there.
12-pounder?
Yeah.
You say a 12-pounder? How much?
12?
12-pound.
I don't remember.
Yeah, 12-pound brisket.
18 hours is what I heard.
Yeah, 18 hours, but like that's a long
maybe
cook.
That's called low and slow, baby.
Yeah,
he's
That's
doing
what
really
he's
low and
doing.
slow.
He knows what he's doing. He's low
Yeah.
and slow.
That's awesome. First one ever.
Yeah. I listen. I would love to see a picture of this, Aaron. Man, if you get a chance, snap us. Send the pictures. I want to look at this, man. We'll throw it up on our social media as well.
Yeah.
Love
I think
doing
I
it.
saw it and it did look good, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll share it
Did
with
he go
y'all.
into detail what seasonings he used on it? I
He
don't
may have
remember
on
if he
his
did,
on
no.
his posts, but
Okay.
I don't know. He obviously he didn't in that.
Did he use
in that
barbecue
article.
sauce?
I don't know.
No barbecue sauce was harmed in the making of that brisket.
Yeah.
Good job, Aaron.
Great job,
Yeah,
buddy.
100%.
He's gonna get something from that.
What
isn't
does he get though? Sucklebusters, Sucklebusters. Everybody wants some Sucklebusters. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear when Aaron tells us about his first barbecue competition.
That's right. Hey, Aaron, let's get together and we'll get a bottle of Sucklebusters sent out to you. Just look at the website. Chicks It Smoke's a favorite, so pick that one if you want. But just, pick one of those and we'll get it sent out to you, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
I like when John came in with the jazz hands there at the end. Like, there it
My
is.
hands look bigger than my head.
Oh man,
That's
the
saying
don't
something.
brag.
barbecue fail portion of the podcast, which is always the barbecue fail and win portion of the podcast, is always kind of sad in my heart because I know it's drawing to an end. The podcast is coming to a near conclusion, and I'm running out of references to
I don't know.
mention.
Just
Go ahead and wrap it
the
up.
end.
Just wrap it up. You're
Are we
good.
ending?
Yep.
I honestly, guys, hey, this whole past 2 weeks has been, the one of the best couple of weeks in our barbecue career and in our friendships. I really enjoyed everything. I just want to say, hey, it's been great talking barbecue with you guys.
Look at this.
Peace.
Everyone went Mr. Rogers on us real quick. I like that. Yes, 100%. If you get a chance, go check out Grabbing the Brisket. Go subscribe to us. It helps pay the bills. You have no idea. Check out social media. It's all there. Hopefully, we're getting more and more content coming up, more recipes, more things that are interactive. We love it when you call in. Call in. We have a number for you here in a second. That number is going to be called out, and you have a barbecue win, you have a barbecue fail. Call in, share about it. Tell us, what went wrong, what happened great, how you saved the day at the last minute, whatever it is. Let's talk about it. And when you do, of course, you get
honestly, the
rewarded.
show
So-
does not happen without the people and the fan
The fan
interaction.
People, yeah, that phone number, if you do want to leave us a message, is 434-829-2299. And you can also just leave us a message through grabthebrisket.com.
Boom. Let's go, baby.
Thanks, everybody. We've been great.
Smoke on. Dang it, Bobby. Just grab the brisket. We'd like to give a special thanks to Sucklebusters Barbecue Rubs and Sauces, Bolner's Fiesta Spices, CoolieNation Custom Koozies, Cambro Manufacturing, YETI Coolers, the Smoke Sheep Barbecue Newsletter, and Dalstrong Knives. We definitely appreciate your support.